GDCA, with support from Star Ghana and sponsored by USA, Danida, EU and UK Aid, launched the dissemination of prioritized needs and action plans to stakeholders in the Mion District Assembly. The purpose of the workshop is to disseminate as well as submit copies of both the prioritized needs and action plans of the various women groups, youth and PWD groups to the DCPU and other relevant stakeholders. The essence of this is to ensure that needs of groups are taken into account by the Municipal Planning Unit in the development of the 2014-2017 District MTDPs and budget. Mr. Philip Mabi, the sub-component manager of GDCA, stood in to give a brief of the objectives of the project to the participants of the Mion District.
Honorable Presiding Member, heads of the Central Departments of the Assembly, Director, Local Government City Kamari, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here with you today to give a purpose why we are seated here. I just indicated that we are here to look at how we can also contribute to the local government system that we are running as a country. And this is not coming from any other place, but with the support that Star Ghana has given to GDCA for a project called Promoting Participatory Governance. And as a project objective, we are looking at how we can model the participation of women, youth and people with disabilities in local government. 3 assemblies were selected. Fortunately for the people of Mion, the Mion District Assembly was also chosen. As an outcome, we are looking at how the demands of women or the needs of women, people with disabilities and youth would be satisfactorily captured in the medium plans of the Assembly as well as the budgets of these selected district assemblies. Specifically, we are looking at how we can document best practices of the participation of people in local governance. We are also looking at how we can use this project to increase the capacities of women, people with disabilities and youth to effectively participate in the local government processes, especially when it comes to planning. And lastly, we are looking at how we can facilitate some direct engagement of these target groups with the Assembly authority. And today, you will bear witness that all the things as part of the activity that you have been doing, today you are before the session of the Assembly authority, particularly the head of the Assembly. The Honorable Presiding Member is here to represent the Assembly, to discuss with you the ways that you think you can effectively participate in the local government process. As part of the objectives I just specified, we were fortunate to have a resource person from the Institute of Local Government Studies, that's the Kamari campus. And as you know, by the arrangement, they are supposed to support the assemblies, build capacity, give knowledge to make the local government system very effective. So we're fortunate to have had the Director of Local Government Studies to facilitate this process up to today. And so out of it, we have the action plans that you express by way of what you need or what you want to see captured in the medium-term development plans of the Assembly. And today, all your ideas have been put together, and we are here to present your ideas to the Assembly and to see how they can make this reflect in the ongoing planning processes. And I think in brief, that is what has brought us here. But I want to thank you very much for not relenting your efforts as far as the project activities are concerned. I believe it is more than 6 months that you have been engaged on these processes up to today. I want to particularly thank you for your efforts in coming out with these very good ideas that we want to give to the Assembly to work with in the coming years. And so, without much ado, I want to thank you and to wish you well.
Mr. Richard Kambota, the Deputy Director for the Institute of Local Government Studies, also gave his brief about the objectives of the
The process we took was that before the district or people can engage the district assembly on whatever issues that they want or whatever priorities they want to address, there's a need for them to first understand how the district assembly system operates. So the first thing we did was to strengthen the people or enhance the knowledge of the participants on how the district assembly system is. So first, we took them through the local government system. We took them through the resources that are allocated to the district assemblies. We took them through social accountability. And then the second step was to support the groups to identify their issues that hinder the advancement or the activities of the groups. So when they were identified, we allowed them to use several tools or methods to prioritize them. Indeed, we use several tools to also identify these problems that the people have, including the use of SWOT, including the use of forceful analysis, including the use of problem tree, and so on and so forth. So all these things we use. And then we also use the methods or tools of ranking and scoring to come out with the most preferred problem of the groups, based upon which the action plans were developed. So, as we stand today, the output of all that we have been doing in this series of enlightenment and exercises to come out with what we want to do is the action plan. It is my hope that the handing over of the action plans to the district assembly and the groups will not be the end of the exercise. I believe and I heard them promise that they are going to pursue the implementation of this action plan to the latter. And I encourage them to do that. And what I will end up by saying is that we need to be very good communicators in terms of dealing with the district assembly. And in order to be good communicators, we need to also be good listeners. And to be good listeners, we need to be tolerant and patient. Our bureaucratic system is such that if you don't have the patience, or you cannot tolerate the system, the processes of the system, then you certainly cannot achieve your objectives. So I will entreat you to be patient, to be tolerant in dealing with them in order to make the engagement process very fruitful. So I would like to thank all of you for the calm nature and the cooperative nature that you exhibited throughout this process. So I would also like to entreat GDCA not to put a halt to their pursuit of seeing the people being enlightened or to develop themselves or come out with self-initiated projects, and engaging effectively with the district assembly here, but to continue to boost their understanding in order that this process of engagement can be sustained. Thank you very much.
The presiding member of the Mion District Assembly, Mr. Alasan Adam, also shared his view and also talked about the importance of the project to the members in the workshop. I stand on behalf of the whole Mion District, to those who are here and to those who are absent, to say a very big thank you to GDCA for helping implementing this project in the Mion District. The Assistant Planning Officer of the Mion District Assembly, Mr. Bashiru Yachuri, also expressed his view about the project and the objectives of the project.
Last year, we started preparing the medium-term development plan for 2014-2017. And then since the very year, we started attending your programs, and with the help of the resource person, we were able to get some rough ideas or some draft thematic areas that you wanted to be your area of concern or your needs. And during that time, we were able to capture those items or those things or those needs into a medium term, which is the draft that we have submitted to the National Development Planning Commission for their approval. I must say, one was finance, one was talking about the disabled looking for a resource center, so maybe train other people to always move them and do their own things and other things. And I must also say that as a business development officer, alongside planning a planning officer, we also prepare our annual work plan for the Business Advisor Center. And I'm happy to inform you that all those needs about microfinance has been taken care of. We will provide training activities for the women who are engaged in the various economic activities and also seek to support them with financial resources. And with the disabled, we are also working hard with the budget to ensure if we can provide them a resource center so that maybe those who want to go to Batita and Nine, the hairdressing can also get those training. So I must say that this action plan has been given to us. We are happy. I will go through them and see those that we do not include in our medium term. When the draft is submitted from Accra to us, we will kindly include them. Then we promise you that by the grace of God, and then with your cooperation, we will carry out all these activities. So at the end of the day, the development that we are hearing from Mion District will come into life.
Big game! Let's show us. Tell them something. Shalifa!
Murtia Abba, Mayua Abba today.
Well,
No more love.
give them nice loving, gala, give them nice loving. Give them nice loving, gala, give them nice loving.
Murtia Abba, Mayua Abba today.
Well.
No more love.
Give them nice loving, gala, give them nice loving. Give them nice loving, gala, give them nice loving.
Learn how to love,
Well.
Learn how to live,
Yeah.
Learn how to talk,
Well.
Learn how to treat women.
Nice and lovely, yes, sweet and sexy, gala, sweet and sexy, gala, sweet and sexy, gala.
Once upon a time.
Shalifa, tell me something, got me around the what happened.
Once upon a time.
Okay. Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me
There
a
was a
story.
boy, call you don't
A
call.
bad man, the boss.
And the opponent,
Sure, you know.
call Tiyumbe.
Nice story. Hey, nice story. Tell me, Shalifa. Okay, yeah.
Tiyumbe, Chilimelene.
Well.
Tiyumbe, Pagadede.